Like I said before, the reason that in India, when our forefathers went out to do carol singing, the whole point was that they were going out giving a message. The carols they were singing weren't just any songs. The carols they were singing were about they were singing about the birth of Jesus Christ. So what was happening was, when they were like mixing with the other religious communities where they were living, they were singing the birth of Christ. So they were giving the message to the people to say, well, it's the birth of Christ.
Right.
And so it is a little bit disheartening when you see now people have a holiday, they go out partying, they go night clubbing, they're boozing, drinking, all that, and not actually really realizing
what the real meaning is.
There is a birth of Christ.
That's right.
And that needs to be celebrated.
And I think we're going to get into that. We're going to get into, what really is the true message of Christmas and how it's been diluted over the years. You're watching Broken Silence. We'll be back after this short break. Hi, welcome back to Broken Silence. I'm Sanyya Gardez. Today we're learning the true meaning of Christmas. Is it just all about exchanging gifts and having a nice turkey dinner, or is the message a little bit more deep than that? Joining me on the panel today is retired pastor Saudagar Chand and Eric Massey. Thank you both for joining us today. Now we're learning about the true message of Christmas. It's not just boozing up, having turkey, and exchanging gifts. It's a lot deeper than that, and there's obviously huge religious significance to the holiday. We left off saying, do we think that the message of Christmas is being diluted? Not just amongst Asians that are not Christian, but even Christian Asians. The younger generation, are they really understanding the holiday for what it's worth, or are we just more interested in the commercial aspect of it?
See, what it is, because the world that we live in and the generation that we live in, the youngsters seem to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening around them, they just follow the flow. And it is sad that it's not been drummed into them to say, well, this is the real reason of Christmas. Now, obviously, I don't want anybody to be offended when I'm saying this, but if I'm just talking about general,
right,
young,
Well, speaking generally, not just young Christians,
Yeah.
but young Muslims, young Hindus, young Sikhs. I mean, we're losing the real understanding of our religion.
Even among Christians, many of them do not understand the value of, if you go and ask them. The other day I was in a barber shop, and the man began to talk to me.
Nice haircut.
Yes. So he began to talk to me about Christmas. So I asked him this question: do you really understand the meaning of Christmas? And he smiled at me. He said, sir, I don't know anything. So I said, why do you celebrate?
Yeah.
Because the public
Well, who was your
celebrates.
barber? Was it an Asian Christian? Was it a...
No, he was Italian.
Okay.
Because you go in any shop, you will find a lot of light. Their shops are lighted, decorated, wonderfully. But they are interested in their business,
That's right.
and they are successful in that, People are attracted when you please to their feelings. I mean, you act according to their, but they do not understand. They do not accept Christ, There is no Christmas minus Christ.
Okay.
If
Well,
there is
that's right. I mean, it's right in the name of the holiday, Christmas.
And Christ brought life, eternal life into this world. God, the Father, gave His Son to this world to be crucified, so that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And the Bible writer, Apostle Paul, said, the eternal life is the gift of God through Jesus Christ, who is a life,
That's right. Now, for the people that are watching us now, a lot of our viewers might, we're aware that there are Christian Asians, but really don't know that much about it. Now, before the show, we were talking about Punjabi Christians. There is a minority group of Punjabi Christians, and Pastor, you were saying that a lot of the carols, and we're going to hear them a little bit later, they're sung in Punjabi. So when you have mass for people that aren't English speaking, do you do it in Punjabi or in their native tongue?
We use in both, Punjabi, English, whichever people like it, because the modern generation, those who are living here in England, they like to have everything in English, But those who are belonging to the old generation, they like to have their own language, so that the point is, as long as you convey the right meaning and people understand it, that is the best,
Can I just come in on this point here? You know, we were talking about the gist of the Christmas of the young generation are forgetting it. I just recently read a story about a school teacher. He stood up and asked his class, you know, he said, look, you know, get your books out and write down one word that you think about Christmas. And there was about 30, 40 children in that class, and they started to write Christmas tree,
Okay.
gift, Santa, snow. You know, it went down the list, and nowhere on that list it mentioned anything but Jesus. None of the children actually wrote Jesus. And yet, you know, the festive season, Christmas, is to do with the birth of Jesus.
That's right. Well, you know, living in New Jersey, we never celebrated Christmas. I mean, when the holiday came around, my mom would cook biryani and have kebabs, and the family would get together. When I moved to the UK, I realized that actually it's a holiday that's celebrated, you know, amongst Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and it's celebrated in a very traditional way with the Christmas tree, with a traditional dinner, with gifts. However, like you've been mentioning, people that are celebrating this holiday that are not Christian don't know why they're celebrating it. And I think the reason that we're celebrating it is because it's such a colorful holiday. It's so pretty. It's, you know, and at the end of the day, after the holiday's all done and dusted, you get gifts. So that's what's going on there. Yes, Pastor?
See, the Christmas time is an occasion of peace, joy, happiness.
It is an occasion of peace and joy, but
Joy.
the amount of fights that break out after people have been boozing all day on Christmas Day is probably higher
But
than any other holiday.
It's a getting together, reunion of family and friends. Giving gifts is also all right. But the meaning behind it, you know, who should be given the gift, you know.
Yeah.
God gave to the
Well,
world.
where did that come from? Where did the gift giving come
Yes.
from?
And Jesus gave himself. Then his followers, they are required to give themselves to Jesus and to help the needy one. These days, what we find, we give gifts to the children,
That's right.
our friends, our relatives. But those who are needy, they are overlooked, you know.
That's right.
Jesus Christ came for the sinners, you know, people who needed him, those who were in need of salvation and redemption. He gave his life for them, you know. Those who think we are all right, you know, the sick person needs a doctor, you know.
Right.
But who is healthy, he doesn't need a
Right,
doctor.
and Pastor, I mean, coming from your point of view, obviously, you being a retired pastor, I understand, you know, that the religious significance of the holiday is paramount, above and beyond everything else. But, you know, saying that, I don't know how much has attendance dropped in churches around Christmas. I mean, I'm sure a few generations ago, churches would be packed for midnight mass and Christmas Day mass. However, now, because the message is just so commercial, because it's just a big party, it's just exchanging gifts, and it's just an excuse to get drunk, have you noticed that the attendance in church has dropped?
Well, funny enough, this is like the Christmas period is 1 week where you'll see Christians that you've never seen a whole week.
Right.
So it's not as we perceive it to be. All Christians on Christmas, they'll be at the church. So the church are normally quite packed at Christmas. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I guess,
even
but
though,
that goes, I guess, you know, I guess that even for Eid and for Diwali
Exactly.
and for those holidays, you see people you haven't seen all year around because everybody comes out. But even with those holidays, we'll probably do a show on that when those holidays do come around. I think it's just a reason to have a party. That's it. So I think we just are looking for any excuse to have a few drinks and have a nice dinner, and that's it.
Correct, you know. One of the writers says, Dr. Stanley Jones, one of the outstanding evangelists, he said that Christmas should be celebrated throughout the year. It should be extended not only just once in a year. Christ should be born in our heart daily, you know. We must be happy because he came into this world. But the world, as you say, that the other people, even including Christian, they have lost the meaning of a real value of Christmas. In the spelling, they have put Xmas.
That's right.
Xmas.
Yeah.
They have cancelled Christ from there, you know. then you won't get that happiness, and though it is the real meaning. When Christ is missing, there is no Christmas.
That's right.
It is only a business or getting together.